Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I want to go through 20 books that I need to finish before this year is over. We're over halfway through the year now and I still have so many books on my physical TBR, but these are just 20 books that I am most excited about reading. So let's go through them all. So this is more of a recent purchase and it's Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I'm very intrigued by this book. I'm sometimes a bit skeptical about trying like adult romantasy because I don't always like them, but this one does sound really good. And I mean, I also kind of bought it because of the cover, but it does sound really good. So it's about this girl who's a dancer at this court, king's court, and I'm pretty sure he frames her for murder and throws her into a prison. But then after 2 years, she gets called to the king and he grants her a deal to spy his enemies and then she will get her freedom. But yeah, I am just really excited to read this book and I definitely want to finish it before the year ends. And now a book that is a second in the series, and I didn't really like the first one, which really disappointed me. But this book has so many good reviews. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about it, and it's The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. It's the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Once Upon a Broken Heart. I didn't really like the FMC. I didn't like the story. I was just a bit bored by the story. But I've heard amazing stories about this, and I'm just kind of hoping the story will pick up in this book and that I will find Evangeline less annoying. So yeah, no, I want to read this. I want to give this a chance. I also have the third one, so I do want to continue with the series. But yeah, I do want to give it a chance. So if you have never read Once Upon a Broken Heart, I can't remember what it was about anymore. So I'm just going to read it from my phone. But yeah, now for as long as you can remember, this FMC has dreamed of true love until the guy that she loves marries another. But she's so desperate to stop his wedding that she ends up making a deal with someone. But in exchange of that deal and making that happen, he asks for 3 kisses to be given at any time of his choosing. This guy wants more of her than she pledged for, so she kind of ends up in this little adventure, but I just couldn't with her mind. It bothered me so much, but I just hope it will be picked up in this one, and yeah, I do want to read it before the year ends. Now, I don't want to take out my whole box set, but I do want to start the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. Now, this is my dad's favorite series of all time, so he gave me the whole box set because he wants me to read it. So I feel like I really should start that this year. So far, I've only read one Stephen King book, and I do really like his writing, so I am excited to be reading like I'm pretty sure it's like a fantasy series, but there is a lot of books in there. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 books in this series. I'm not very good at big book series. Like, I'm scared. And now I have to be honest, I have no idea what this book is about, so I'm just gonna read the description of my phone. But it's a magical mix of science, fiction, fantasy and horror. Well, it's about a lost gunslinger. He's a haunting, solitary figure at first, on a mysterious quest through a desolated world that eerily mirrors our own, pursuing the man in black, an evil being who can bring the dead back to life. Roland is a good man who seems to have nothing but death in his wake. You know what, reading that actually makes me feel more excited about starting the series. I hope to do it soon. But yeah, no, definitely the Dark Tower series. I wanted to start it. I don't know how far I'll get into it. I know I won't finish it this year, but I just want to start it. And now a book I am so excited for to read, and it's Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. I read Anathema by Carrie Lake. I really enjoyed it. I haven't read the second one yet, but I did enjoy her writing style and kind of the vibe that she creates in her world. And I'm pretty sure this is like a dark academia book, and I'm so excited because I did read Nightshade not that long ago by Autumn Woods, and I absolutely loved that book. So I really want to read more dark academia books, and yeah, so I thought this would be a great one to read, especially since I'm already familiar with her writing. It's about this girl who receives an acceptance letter to Arcadia University. It's a secluded, prestigious school on an island off the coast of Maine. And it says it's haunted by the souls of the mental patients exiled there centuries before, but the ghosts aren't even its most daunting peculiarity. But then we have the MMC, I'm pretty sure, who's known as the Dr. Dead. on campus, and he is this very handsome professor. So I guess we have a student-professor romance situation going on in this book. I don't think I've ever read a book with that in it, so I'm intrigued. But yeah, together they are a toxic disaster waiting to be exposed. And when the truth surfaces, we may be the one who resurrects Dracadia's most depraved secret. Okay, I'm really excited. I really want to read this as soon as possible, so I will definitely read this before the year ends, definitely. Now a book that absolutely terrifies me. It's a tick book, which, you know, is a bit scary, because I feel like it's a bit of a commitment, even though it's a standalone. But I've heard so many things about it, and it's alchemized by Senlin Yu, and I don't think I've ever been as intrigued to read a book as I have for this one. First of all, let's just appreciate this book. It is beautiful. Look at the sprayed edges. I am obsessed. Yeah, I don't know much about it. I just know it used to be like a Hermione fanfiction, which is interesting. I don't know really what it's about. I'm pretty sure, that the FMC is a prisoner. Everyone has been unalived, and the world that she knew is destroyed. Well, and according to Resistance records, she was a healer of little importance within their ranks, but Helena has inexplicable memory loss of the months leading up to her capture, making her enemies wonder, is she truly as insignificant as she appears, or are her lost memories hiding some vital piece of the Resistance final gambit? Yeah, I don't know what to expect of this book. I do have high expectations for it, but yeah, I have absolutely no idea what to expect, but I do really want to get to it this year. And then a book that I've had on my TBR for a while and I just never really pick up, even though I am excited to read it. I just don't know what's stopping me. I guess I've kind of heard mixed reviews about it, and it's Immortal Consequences by Ivy Mary. I know this is about this afterlife school, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Oh, it's located on the fringes of afterlife. And once a pupil enters the academy arched gate, there is no way out except for the decennial, a once-in-a-decade celebration in which a single worthy student is tested and given a choice. Graduate and join Blackwood's magical lead, or cross over the mysterious other side. It sounds interesting, and yes, that's all I have to say about this book, to be honest. I don't know much about it. I just know that I really want to get to it. And now a book that I am expecting it to be 5 stars, and I'm so excited to get to it, and it's Wildwood Dancing by Juliet Marilier. Juliet Marilier. Yeah, I just think this is really gonna be my kind of book. I love whimsical books, fairy tale vibes. I think that's just one of my favorite books ever. And this is also inspired by Romanian folklore, which is so interesting. And I think the cover is beautiful. I love the art style of this. It is about 5 adventurous sisters, 4 dark creatures, 3 magical gifts, 2 forbidden lovers, and 1 enchanted frog. It sounds so whimsical, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it's inspired by a fairy tale. Yeah, I think I'm going to read this book very soon. This is a book that I have read the first few pages of. I just don't know what happened. I stopped reading it, but I have both 1, 2, and 3 already on my shelf, so I do really want to get to the first one. Now, I am pretty sure they are interconnected standalones, and the first one is The Mysterious Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holt. I'm pretty sure they're like adult romantasy rom-com books, and it's like set in the Victorian England, and I don't really read like some contemporary romance. I just think sometimes a quick, funny rom-com but still has the fantasy elements to it is exactly what I need. It does sound like a good time. It's about this ideal Victorian lady, but she's also a thief. And like all the other members of the Wisteria Society, she flies around England drinking tea. But yeah, she blackmails friends and acquiring treasure by interesting means. Sure, she has a dark and traumatic past and an overbearing aunt, but all things considered, it's a pleasant existence. Until the men show up. Ned Lybourne is a sometime assistant who's smitten with Cecilia from the moment they meet. Unfortunately, that happens to be while he's under direct orders to unalive her. His employer, Captain Morwood, who possesses a Gothic abbey bristling with cannons and an unbridled hate for the world, intends to rid England of all its presumptuous women, starting with the Mysterious Society. But Ned has plans of his own, but both men have made one grave mistake. Never underestimate a woman. You know what? It sounds fun. It just sounds fun and funny. And so yeah, I just need to get back into it. I did enjoy the first few pages. And yeah, I will definitely read this before the year ends. And now another book that I'm expecting to be 5 stars. And I'm so sure that it's going to be a 5 stars that I'm absolutely terrified to read it. And it's Emily Wilde, Encyclopedia of Fairies. I just know it's like a whimsical book and it does have like folklore in it. And I feel like it's just the exact type of book that I would absolutely devour. And I really want to get to it. I have the second one already as well. I'm just waiting for the good moment to read this because I have so like high expectations for this book. I just want to read it at a good time so that I can fully enjoy it. And I haven't found that time yet, so I don't know when I will be reading it. And I hope this year will give me, the perfect moment to read this. But yeah, I just know it's about this scholar. Is she a scholar? Yeah, she's a scholar. Who's writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. But she's not good with people. And so when she arrives in a village of Ruffensvik, yeah, I don't know how to say that word, I'm sorry. But she has no intention of befriending the Gruff's townsfolk. Nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her insufferable, dashing rival. But as she gets close to uncovering the secrets of the Hidden Ones, the most elusive of all fairies, she also finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bumblebee? So the rival. And what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. It sounds cute. It really does. And the next book is a book that I'm waiting to read more in autumn time. I don't know, it just gives me autumn time vibes, and it's a story collector by Evie Woods. I haven't heard many people talk about this. I just know it's based in Ireland, and Ireland is one of my favorite countries ever. And a young girl volunteers to help an American visitor translate fairy stories from Irish to English. But all is not as it seems, and Anna soon finds herself at the heart of a mystery that threatens her way of life. I don't know much about it. That's all I know, but it does sound very good, and I think I will enjoy it. And I just really, really want to get to it in autumn this year. So yeah, I hope that will happen. I haven't really read many, if any, to be honest, cozy fantasy books, but I do think I will really enjoy them. And I do have The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, and I just feel like I need to read these type of books somewhere out in nature and somewhere just very peaceful and calming. I feel like that's when I will enjoy these books the most. So again, I'm just waiting for the right time to read this book. I just hope I will get to it in 2026. And all I know about this book is, I'm pretty sure it's about this inn. I know that she has a spider plant as a companion, because who doesn't want a plant as a companion? But her library does go up in flames, and she has to then flee to this remote island. But then, to her dismay, she finds the Empire has been draining power from the island with the help of an old spellbook and a nosy, if very handsome, neighbor. And she is determined to make things right. I read The Shadow of the Gods by John Quinn this year. So it's the first book in the Bloodsworn trilogy. So I just have to read the second and the third one this year. I really wanted to finish this series. So the second one is The Hunger of the Gods, and the third one is The Fury of the Gods. I really loved The Shadow of the Gods. It's a high fantasy book. I just haven't been in the right mindset to read this, because I did start the second one last month, and yeah, I just wasn't in the right mindset to be reading a high fantasy book. I just really need to finish the series in the second half of this year. But it's this Norse-inspired fantasy trilogy, and we follow 3 characters, but all these 3 characters kind of go on their own journey and their own quest, etc. But yeah, the gods were at war and they drove themselves to extinct. But these 3 characters will all shape the fate of this world, as it once falls more under the shadow of the gods. So if you want to get into high fantasy, I definitely do think this is a good trilogy to get started with. I have a whole shelf full of Stephen King books, and there is one that I do want to read, and that's Mr. Mercedes. I don't know anything about it. I just know that I want to read it. It's, I think, a great reason to want to read a book. But I really want to read The Outsider by Stephen King, but I'm pretty sure I have to read this trilogy. I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy first, or they just recommend to do that. So that's why I kind of want to just get into Mr. Mercedes. But yeah, it's just a thriller. Yeah, the stolen Mercedes emerges from the pre-dawn fog and plows through the crowd of men and women online for a job fair in a distressed American city. Then the lone driver backs up, charges again and speeds off, leaving 8 dead and more wounded. The case goes unsolved and ex-cop Bill Hodges is out of hope when he gets a letter from a man who loved the feel of death under the Mercedes wheel. Brady Hartsfield wants that rush again, but this time he's going big, with an attack that would take down thousands, unless Hodges and 2 new unusual allies he picked up along the way can throw a wrench in Hartsfield's diabolical plans. Okay, that does sound kind of scary. You know what, that does sound good. It does sound good, I am intrigued, and I do want to read more Stephen King books this year, besides the Dark Tower series. So I think Mr. Mercedes will be a good one to read this year. And another book that I'm saving for autumn time, it's Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I've heard many good things about this book, and I'm pretty sure it's about this orphan girl who has been raised by these guardians, but they're more interested in her wealth than her well-being. She only has a few relatives left who are living at this estate, and there is this restless spirit. Is it a spirit? Yeah, there's this restless spirit who claims that she was poisoned, and then she realizes that this estate might be in grave danger, and then she asks the stable boy to help hunt down the killer. The best way to uncover the truth and the killer is to make an alliance with Death himself. I have no idea if I will like this book. I like the idea of it, I like the sound of the book, but I just hope that I will love it, because I do already own the second one as well. Like, I never really buy the rest of the series before reading the first one. I know I have the Dark Tower series on my bookshelf, and I've never read the first one, but normally I don't really like to do that, but for some reason I did it with this one, so I have to like it, so I just really want to get to it, and I just think autumn time will be a good moment to read this book. And I've had this indie book on my TBR for a while now, and it's The Wrecking of Saltfire by E.K. Kandas. It's, I'm pretty sure, like a Greek mythology inspired pirate fantasy world story, something. So I think she went through this traumatic thing, so she then just tries to live her life, forget about it, try to just go on with her life, really. But then I think this rebellion started to happen, and the king has never attacked before until now. So she gets captured by this pirate, claiming to have saved her from the lies of the leaders. So she then has to decide if her enemy was the real enemy after all. But yeah, I've never really seen anyone talk about this book before, and I just really wanted to read like another pirate vibes book. So I found this one, so I do want to get to it, because I haven't read a kind of pirate vibes book in a long time. But yeah, I hope to get to it in 2026. I have picked it up so many times now for my monthly TBR, and I never get to it. So I have to make sure that 2026, so the second half of this year, is when I'm going to read this book. And since we're now talking about Greek mythology, I have I, Medusa by Ayana Gray. And okay, at first I did just buy it because of the cover. It is beautiful, but it does sound interesting as well. But I'm pretty sure it's like a reimagining of the Greek mythology and the story of Medusa, which, to be honest, I don't know much about the Greek mythology. I am really curious to read more about it, even though it is just a reimagining. I do love mythology inspired books, so I do really want to get to this book as soon as possible. Now, this is a very, very popular book, and it's Quicksilver by Callie Hart. You see, popular books scare me because it's definitely a hit or miss for me with like popular books. There are a good few popular books I didn't like, and I'm scared this is going to be one of them. And it's a chunky book. And I've heard mixed reviews about the second one, which is putting me off a little bit, but yeah, I do want to read it. I just feel like I have to get it over and done with. I hope I'm going to love it, of course. But yeah, I want to get it over and done with as soon as possible. And another book that I'm waiting to read in autumn, and it's made by Ali Hazelwood. I have read Bright last year, I'm pretty sure. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite book. I can't really remember what happened. I just remember werewolves. That's what I remember. Werewolves. Was it just werewolves? Vampires and werewolves. Yes. It wasn't like amazing. I just enjoyed it and I thought it was a bit of fun. So I do want to read Mates. And I feel like this book just gives more autumn vibes. So I hope to get to it in autumn. I read a lot of fantasy books. So I'm kind of trying this year to either read more thrillers or just, is it called contemporary fiction? I'm not sure. But I recently got 2 Kristen Hanna books. I got Winter Garden and The Great Alone. I don't know which one, but I do want to at least get to one of these in the last half of this year. Yeah, I have heard so many good things about Kristen Hanna, especially I'm pretty sure it's called The Nightingale. I've heard amazing things about that one, but I just ended up getting these 2. If you've read one of these 2, please let me know which one I should read first. But those are the 20 books that I just want to finish in the last half of this year. And like I said, I have so many books on my physical TBR and I wish I could read them all this year, but I know that's not gonna happen. So this is definitely more of my priority list. But yeah, those were all the books. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you next time.